The first crimes of Ted Bundy, the beginning of the nightmare. In the early months of 1974, something strange and terrifying began to unfold in the quiet college neighborhoods around Seattle. Students were disappearing. A brutal attack left a young woman fighting for her life, and at the time, nobody realized these crimes were connected. But years later, investigators would look back and identify these incidents as the beginning of the killing spree of one of America's most infamous criminals, Ted Bundy. This is the story of the first known crimes. The first attack. January 4th, 1974. Near the University of Washington campus, a young student named Joni Lenz was asleep in her basement bedroom. It was the middle of the night. The house was quiet. Her roommates were upstairs. Then, someone entered the room. Investigators later believed the attacker slipped inside while everyone was sleeping. Joni never even had time to react. She was beaten savagely with a metal rod taken from the bed frame. The attack was so violent that she suffered devastating injuries and permanent neurological damage. Miraculously, she survived. Police were baffled. There were no witnesses, no suspects, almost no evidence. At the time, detectives believed it was simply a random assault. But in reality, it may have been the first known attack by Ted Bundy. Second attack, the disappearance of Linda Ann Healy. Less than a month later, the mystery grew darker. February 1st, 1974. Linda Ann Healy was a psychology student at the University of Washington. She was known for waking up early to read weather reports for a local radio station. But that morning, she never showed up. When her roommates woke up, something felt wrong. Her bed was neatly made. Her clothes were gone, but there were small blood stains on the pillow that someone had tried to clean. Investigators believe Bundy broke into the house during the night and struck Linda while she was sleeping, knocking her unconscious. He then dressed her and carried her out of the house. What made the crime especially chilling was how calm the scene looked. At first, it almost appeared as if she had simply left for work. It wasn't until later that police realized a violent abduction had taken place. Her remains would only be discovered months later in the forests of Washington. Third attack, the vanishing of Donna Gail Manson. Just over a month later, another young student vanished, March 12, 1974. Donna Gail Manson was a 19-year-old student at Evergreen State College. That evening, she left her dormitory to attend a concert on campus. She never arrived. Somewhere between the dorm and the concert hall, she simply disappeared. No witnesses saw anything. No evidence was left behind. Her remains were never conclusively found. At the time, police believed the case might involve a runaway or an isolated disappearance. But today, investigators widely believe Ted Bundy abducted her along that short campus path. At this point in 1974, law enforcement had no idea they were dealing with a serial killer. The cases happened in different places, there were no clear suspects, and the technology used to link crimes across jurisdictions was extremely limited. To investigators, these were tragic but separate mysteries. But the man responsible was still out there, and he was becoming more confident. Within months, the crimes would escalate dramatically. Witnesses would begin describing a strange man approaching women at a crowded lake, introducing himself with a simple name, Ted. And that mistake would become one of the first clues that finally put Ted Bundy on the radar of investigators. But by the time police started connecting the dots, several more victims had already disappeared. And the hunt for Ted Bundy was only just beginning. If you want more criminal and violent tales, subscribe and hit the like button so you don't lose the next videos. Peace out.